Absence leaves an imprint not just on our memories, but on the shape of who we become. This is Things Lost in My Absence, a series of conversations with those who grew up with the echo of missing either one or both parents. Through stories, we trace the things lost, the things found, and the quiet resilience of becoming whole, even when no one shows us how. I'm your host, Nomad Jazz, and this is where silence speaks. All right, this is going to be a conversation between me and my first guest, my father, Dallas Tony. Introduce yourself. Give us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, my name is Dallas Tony. I'm Jasmine's dad.
That's what you're gonna say.
What else do you want me to say?
Just a little introduction about yourself, who you are.
Oh, kind, decent human being. At least I try to be.
All right, let's get started. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Can you tell me a little about your childhood? What did home look like for you?
What did home look like for me? Oh, it was miserable. Very miserable. Having one parent in the household who resented my dad, and I caught the I caught the bulk of the unfair treatment, I guess I could say, from my mom, and end up with my dad too, because both of them really didn't really, in my opinion, they didn't give two shits about me, because they didn't do what I thought a parent should do for their child, which is be there for their child no matter what. And neither one of them could get over their issues that they had with each other, and I got the bulk and got it taken out on me, which I assumed that wasn't fair, and I had a lot of animosity towards both of them. I didn't. That was part of my trust issues too, trying to believe and trust people. And when you got two parents, you can't trust them. I mean, who can you trust? It was just hard. But I managed to overcome that and push forward with my life.
Thank you for that. Um, was you're saying that you had a mother that was physically there but not mentally and emotionally there, and a father who was not physically there at all.
Correct.
Okay. Was your father's absence something spoken about in your family, or was it more of like a silent understanding?
Silent. It was like she didn't even really mention his name hardly. Yeah. I guess what happened was I found out later on she tried to get him to pay back welfare or
You mean child support?
whatever at that time, whatever they called it. She was on food stamps, child support, whatever. And once he got away for that, because he did come, when he did try to do the right thing, he came. Christmas came around, you woke up, the living room was packed. All sorts of presents and stuff. So I guess, like I told you, my mom was like basically money hungry. And she wanted, and then I couldn't understand why all that was on him when all them kids was not his. He only had two kids. The rest of them had different fathers. You know, and he just woke up. She just said he woke up. She woke up and he's packing his stuff. He told me, I gotta go. And he disappeared. And I never heard from him again until I found out he died in 2000.
What questions about them haunted you the most?
I guess I could say the ability, the fact that I couldn't read and write. Being that they my parents, and if the doctor, because the doctor told them, well, back then, the doctors didn't really care about black folks, period. So they'll tell you anything. Oh, well, he'll never learn how to read. Okay, if they told you that, so why didn't you take it upon yourself to sit down and teach me? Because that's all it took was, show a little motivation that, well, if you can't read, I'm going to teach you. She didn't do that. She didn't do that.
Were there ever moments that you blamed yourself for their absence?
Yes, I thought everything was my fault. I thought it was because of me, because I couldn't read. And I figured that they didn't want to have nothing to do with me because I couldn't read. So they just like pushed me to the side.
In what ways did their absence shape your sense of self-worth?
Ooh, I had very low self worth of myself. I mean, it was at the bottom.
What do you mean? Can you go into detail at the bottom?
Worthlessness.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you look for replacements in other people, mentors, partners, friends?
Yes, I had one cousin. His name was Butch, and he died in your grandmother's backyard. The car, he was working on his car, and he was about to get a brand new car anyway, but he was working on his old car, and the jack fell off the thing and crushed his skull and killed him.
And that was your replacement for your father?
Basically, yeah, because my cousin act like he cared. He showed like he cared.
Did you find yourself overcompensating, maybe trying to be everything they weren't?
So in some ways, yes.
Have you ever caught yourself repeating something they did even though they weren't there?
Yes.
Like what?
Uh, just I guess I could say being positive, trying to keep myself straight and not really worry about what was going on with their issues because I had no control over them. They had all the power and the control.
Do you feel more angry, more sad, or more numb about it these days?
Well, it took me a long, long time to get over it. I'm a lot better at, at at it now, where I don't let it bother me. Yeah, I just said, hey, what it is what it is. They did the best that they could do, I guess, in my opinion, which was, excuse my French, but full of crap.
Has your understanding of them changed as you've grown older?
Uh, well, back then society was different. Back then the black man, I guess I could say, well, even though my dad had had these other siblings in his life that wasn't his, I guess he just, back then they frowned upon black women not having all these kids and not married and stuff. They really they didn't like that. That was a no-no. Yeah.
You're right. But my question to you is, has your understanding of them and their dynamic, where they were mentally, has it changed since you've gotten older, or is it still the same?
It's changed. I've gotten a lot. I've gotten a lot better when I just accept it for what it is. That hey, y'all, y'all claim y'all did the best that y'all could do, but in my opinion, again, that's full of crap. Yeah. Because my thing is, why would you have kids and don't want to be responsible and take care of them? And that was one of my motivations with you when I got you. That I just told myself, I'm not doing that. I'm going to stick to this child's side no matter what. I don't care what's going on.
That segues into my next question. When you became a father, were you scared? Did you feel like you had any blueprint at all since you lacked a father figure in your life?
I was scared because I didn't know what to do. You know, especially when you had to have operation, when you had that hernia, and you was, and I just like freaked out. So I took you to Gretchen and your cousin Gretchen, and she said, take this baby to my pediatrician." And I did that, and that's when I found the doctor said, "Take this baby to the hospital right now. She has a hernia." So that's what I did. But I was scared shitless because I didn't know what to do. Yeah.
Not you mimicking my cry. But were there moments where you didn't know how to show up, but showed up anyway the best way you could?
Yes.
In what way?
I guess I could say I always thought I was doing the right thing and trying to do the right thing, but I fell short a couple of times. But I never, uh, I guess I never said I would abandon you or just let you go on your own. I wouldn't do that.
Do you think that if you did have your father, if you had an active present father and an active present mother in your life, do you think the way that you raised me up would have been any different?
Yeah, yeah, it would be different because I had both parents and I had their guidance and like counseling, I guess I could say, or how to go about being. Everybody's not perfect, but try to be a decent, good dad.
Do you think about how different your life might have been if just one parent had shown up fully?
Sometimes, yeah, because that'll let me that right there. That'll let me know I had at least one of them on my side. You know, but all that other negativity stuff. Oh well, he can't read. Oh well. You know, still saying pushing to the side. Oh well, that just made me even more bitter and resentful because neither one of them showed interest. When you knew, I'm not. That's what I still. Sometimes I think about, well, you guys knew this shit, but y'all didn't do anything about it to change it, to uplift me. You know, and that was the most important thing a child needs. Is a parent that's going to be there to uplift that child when he or she needs it. Yeah.
What did you learn from their absence that helped you love better, even if it was hard?
I guess I could say just trying not to make the mistakes they made. Trying to be better than what they were.
Do you see the way the pain shaped both of us, your childhood and then mine? How you having absent parents shaped you and in turn shaped me as well.
Yes. Because in my head, I was like, damn, this is going to be difficult for her. That's why when you got of age, that's when you got of age and you asked me, could you find your mother? I said, sure, go ahead. I ain't got no problem with that. You know, you need to know her and she need to know you.
Is there anything you've always wanted to say to me about how you raised me coming from what you didn't get?
Um, I guess I could probably say focusing a little bit more on you, paying that, paying a little bit more attention to you, so I could have been able to identify when you was going through what you was going through. But at that time, I still was going through my own stuff. You know, being uh, wanted and not wanted. You not uh, doing some of the things my parents did because it was like I said, it was crazy. And I just kept telling myself, well, if y'all really didn't, y'all two shouldn't have never had kids. Sorry, but y'all two should have never had kids. Yeah.
What do you hope I carry forward, and what do you hope I leave behind?
Um, that you really truly found a way to get past, everything that you have been going through and still struggling with a little bit, and just, try to get rid of that stuff so you could be a better person. And one day, hopefully, when you do decide to become a mom, you know that you'll put forth 100% effort towards your kids.
Okay, what is something that you hope I leave behind? What cycle do you hope I leave behind?
Uh, the cycle of not not really focusing on your past and focusing on your future more. Because I guess I could say that's what really destroyed me a little bit. I really wasn't focused because I didn't have the guidance or anybody there to guide me. I mean, your grandmother was there, but she only could do it at 50 years old. She only could do too much, so much. And plus, she had Aunt Wanda and Elaine at 50.
You mean my great grandmother?
Yes. Yeah. Uh, she only, I guess if it was left up to her, I guess, because at that time she had her own life and family to take care of. Yeah. And like, I just like wish that my mom had to like, regardless like what she was going through, um, just being like um, a better parent, I guess I could say, than letting stuff, and I don't know, maybe back then she didn't know how to deal with issues that she had. Like today, people got all sorts of avenues you can go through to get help and stuff. She didn't have that stuff back then. I mean, I'm not making an excuse for her, but what it is what it is. And then all the relationships that she had in her life were a lot of them were terrible because these men were beating on her. Yeah, I mean, you get up in the morning and you see your mom. face all out here like this, black eyes and all that old craziness, you know. At one point, me and my brother jumped him on, and he just sling me up against the wall, sling your uncle up against the wall, you know. But it was crazy.
Well, thank you for showing, or thank you for one accepting the invitation to be interviewed, and thank you for telling me parts of your story. What are your? Do you have any parting words to the people who are watching live right now?
Yes, just try to be decent human beings. That's all I can say. Just try to be true to yourself, you know, and just keep pushing forward. No matter what, you gotta keep struggling. You gotta keep pushing. You gotta keep pushing. No matter what, you gotta keep pushing forward. And some days you'll feel good about yourself, and then there's, like I said, a lot of days that in the past I would like be so down on myself, but now it ain't like that today. Today I'm like, nah, I'm not having that. I'm not letting that get me down. Yeah. I said, I don't come too far. I said, I done raised this woman to be what, you 33 years old now?
34.
34 years old. You know, and your mind is just as sharp as you want to be. And I just hope that you keep doing what you're doing to and broaden your horizon. You know, keep it growing. Keep it growing.
Not you trying to make me cry. Thank you for walking with us through this story, through the silence, the searching, and the scars. Sometimes what's missing tells the truth louder than what's present, and in that truth there is grief, yes, but also strength. If something in this conversation stirred something in you, let it. That's how we begin to name the ache, to break the pattern, and to tell the story that didn't get told. This has been Things Lost in My Absence. And remember, what we build in the wake of absence can become a legacy in its own. Thank you for joining us today. Have a wonderful day.